Inavayan itu hima tuga gualan. Welcome to Ida See the World. Today we have two special guests here with us who are going to share with us about the ideas and also how they functions for the World Indigenous Nations University. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our two special guests. So first, can we start with Hohaya? Can you say hello to our audience and also introduce yourself briefly?
Tēnā koutou. My name is Hohaya Collier. I'm from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and I'm the current Chancellor of the World Indigenous Nations University.
Peter?
Aloha, my name is Peter Hanohano. I am Hohaya's bag carrier, and I'm from Hawaii.
Right. Actually, two of you are the very important hands behind the World Indigenous, or not only behind, I mean for the World Indigenous Nations University, but maybe for our audience, actually, I think just like me, we're not so familiar with this concept of the World Indigenous Nations University and also how it functions, how it works, and also as a student, if we want to apply for it, how can we go through the process? So maybe could you first share with us the setup of the WINU, and also how can we be part of the program?
Okay, the university descends from the World Indigenous Peoples Conference on Education. That was set up to give our Indigenous people an educational voice on globally. From WIPC descended WINHEC, which is currently the organisation that's being hosted here in Hualien. And then from WINHEC, which deals with education generally, we saw the need to have a institute that could deal with higher education, that is tertiary education, and that could confer degrees and doctorates. Mm-hmm. So WINU, the university, was formed the idea was formulated in 2011 in Cusco, Peru. It was advanced here in Hualien in 2011, in Cusco. 2012 we came here to Donghua, and we advanced the idea, and then in 2013 in Crown Point, New Mexico, the university was launched. We had 4 Australian scholars who completed a PhD, and they were the first of our alumni. So that's kind of the genesis of the organisation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with this, that means if as a student, because I know that this program offers from all the way from undergraduate to PhD, right? So, or that is still under construction with this the different degrees.
Yeah, with the university, we only confer masters and a PhD at the program at the moment. Okay. So the undergraduate degrees still remain with WINHEC. Mm-hmm. Though at our meeting this morning, we are looking at bringing in the undergraduate degrees to the WINU suite of programs. Mm-hmm. We decided in developing the university to start at the top end. So the first people who were conferred with qualifications were PhDs. Mm-hmm. Just recently we conferred taught master's degrees, which are co-badged with the Sami University of Applied Sciences, mm-hmm. and that was just last month. So we're looking at now other aligned institutions putting their pupils through the accreditation process, mm-hmm. and co-badging their programs with WINU.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for students, for example, if I want to get the accreditation from WINU, what is the process? How could the process look like?
The individual student needs to belong to a institution that has been accredited, has gone through the accreditation process. Mm-hmm. For example, if you were a student at Donghua University, mm-hmm. Because Donghua hasn't currently gone through the accreditation process, and if they did, it would be the Indigenous Studies department that would be accredited. So once the accreditation process has gone through, the programs will be individually accredited. Then a student enrolled in that process and the program could, on graduation with a Donghua degree, also cross-badge and get a WINU degree as well.
Ah, okay.
So effectively they end up with 2 degrees.
2 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, but for the curriculum, do we, for example, if I'm part of the program already, and for the courses I want to take, is it also like cross different universities, or how do we decide and design the curriculum?
Each of your programs will go through the accreditation process. So if you want to accredit a bachelor's degree, for example, you would go through the WINHEC accreditation process. Like any other accreditation process, there'll be a site visit. They will have a look at the facilities, the number of students, the longevity of the program. And then once accreditation has been given to that program, students who enroll in then will be eligible for cross-badging. So that's how it works. So an individual student at this stage cannot enroll into a program. They must enroll with a accredited institution.
Okay.
There is the opportunity, though, for example, students from Hualien, from Donghua, to go to the Sami University of Applied Sciences. They've opened up a journalism course there, for example, to international students.
Okay.
So you could graduate through the Sami because their institution is accredited.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're hoping to get Donghua through accreditation very shortly.
Right. Can I ask how many universities or institutions now are accredited?
We were told 53
Yeah.
that are either previously or currently accredited through the WINHEC process.
Okay, so 53 around the world. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Peter, can I also ask you, because you are in charge of the Asia Pacific region, and among with WINU you have different regions, right? So especially for Asia and Pacific, do you have different focus
Sure.
from other regions?
WINU is divided into 7 regions. Australia and New Zealand is one region. Hawaii and the South and the Pacific is another region. I believe Asia and Taiwan being our connection to all of Asia is one region. The Sami in Europe is another.
North America?
Alaska, Canada. So Alaska is a region, Canada is a region, and the U.S. is another region. So those are the 7 regions. So for us, so I sit as Vice Chancellor, and at the same time, I'm the education region for Hawaii and the Pacific.
Okay.
And so we have we have excellent indigenous Hawaiian programs from preschool to PhDs. All of those are housed in Western institutions. So for our WINU region, and they're excellent programs, they've been wonderful partners in helping to restore our language and our cultural practices, teachings, traditions. We, as WINU Hawaii Pacifica, have based on the work of our Australian relatives, developed programs that our communities are asking for. And as Hohaya described, there were different options. You start at the associate or bachelor degrees and move and progress up. And for our region, we decided to start with a PhD and move down.
Okay.
So just this year, January 2019, we launched our PhD in Indigenous Science and Social Development.
Okay.
Because in meeting with our communities, we wanted to elevate or give due recognition to our ancestral knowledge. And that knowledge is based both in science and in culture. Right. So in our context, social development considers the development of the whole being. And then science, for us, culture is science. So everything about how we view the world, how we interact with the world, and Mauna Kea being an important tipping point in terms of our relationship with state government and the federal government has coalesced our people to make this last stand. That they have, so that's what we've developed, and it's and we decided to. So we have 7 students in a PhD program, and we have no buildings, very little funding, but we have passion, compassion, and very dedicated and committed teachers and students. It's a journey that we're taking together. So in our culture, we have voyaging canoes. And the voyaging canoe consists of 2 hulls, a sail, and an oar to give direction. When we launched in January of this year, we had only 1 hull. But the group was ready to go, and they wanted to go. So we all jumped on that 1 hull and started paddling. And so I'm sharing this figuratively. So we're paddling, and then we recognize, we need to add on this part of the program. So then we had to strap on the other hull. And then we needed the sail, so then we had to raise the sail. And then we needed the oar to direct us. So we decided to go. We went, and we met. So we have 7 students from 6 different indigenous communities. And each student hosted the cohort.
Okay.
And we were immersed in their community. So our program is hosted, based, and embedded in the community. Because we're not from their community, as you have tribal communities here, we're one people, one language, but every community is different. And so we had to learn and immerse ourselves in their communities. And they hosted us, and the student with their elders and their community members invited us into their communities. We engaged with their communities. We were immersed in their challenges. And now as a cohort, we are helping community to design and find solutions for the challenges that they face. So what our program looks like for one community may be different for another community. So we've gone to all 6 communities. It's been a wonderful learning journey. Now they want to visit other indigenous communities to get different ideas, more creative ways of how to address the issues that they face. So I would love to bring them here. I would love to take them into your communities, go to New Zealand and other places around the world. So that's the dream. Of course, the issue is funding. So that's the next challenge.
So if I get it correctly, the demand was at first originally from the community themselves, right? And then with this process, the program is also shaped by the community and also together with the faculties and the students all together.